You can convert a raster image into a vector in Photoshop using a few simple steps that I'll break down now. The first step in the process is to duplicate your image layer so that you always have a backup. So I'll click on my background layer and press Command or Control J to duplicate it. I'll then disable the visibility of the background layer, and we now need to remove the background of this duplicated layer. Now you could go ahead and choose Select Subject or Remove Background, but just remember that anything that is visible from here on out is going to be included in your final vector graphic. So make sure to actually select exactly what you want in your final result. Now I've already gone ahead and created my selection, so I'm going to load that in now. If these automatic selection methods don't work for you, I'll leave some resources below for removing backgrounds that you can check out after this video. But with this selection active, I'm going to remove the background by applying a layer mask to that duplicated layer. Next, I need to desaturate this image, so I'll click on the image thumbnail and then go up to Image, Adjustments, and Desaturate. The next step is going to our Adjustments panel, and I'll go and find the Posterize adjustment layer, and I'll apply that directly above the image. The amount of levels will just dictate how many different colors are inside of your vector graphic, but for my example, I'm going to bring this down to 2. Now, since I can't see many of the details in this photo, and anything that is black is going to be saved as my final vector, I'm going to use a levels adjustment to refine the contrast. Clicking back on my duplicated layer, I'm going to go back to the adjustments panel and find the levels adjustment. Going to the highlights point, since I need to remove some of the black, I'll increase this like so until I'm happy with the result. Again, remembering that in my photo, everything that is black is going to be a part of the vector. Anything that is white will be excluded. So refine your levels adjustment until you're happy with how your potential graphic could be looking. With my levels refined, this looks a bit more reasonable, and we can now apply a couple of filters that we need to smooth out all of this jaggedness that we see around here, because vector images have those nice smooth edges. To start, I'll click on the image thumbnail of my desaturated and duplicated layer, and then go up to Filter, Stylize, and then oil paint. Notice how this just smooths out all of those weird bumps and grain that we saw before, but for my settings, I'll choose 8.4 for the stylization, and the cleanliness I'll put to 5. But you can play around with those sliders until you find something that works in your image. For these other settings, they don't do anything for now, so I'll click OK. Next, we need to apply a surface blur so that we can smooth out some of these edges even further by going up to Filter, Blur, and then surface blur while our same image from before is active. This is going to take all of those edges and smooth them further so that we have these nice clean outlines of the two different colors in this edit. I'm going to leave my settings as is, and I'll click OK. Now, if you're wondering why we use surface blur and not a Gaussian blur, the surface blur just does a better job at blurring things while still maintaining the edge of the outer object. Now I have the general outline for the vector graphic. Again, anything that is black will become the vector. But we need to remove all of this white area and then select those black areas separately. There's lots of ways that you can do this, but the easiest way is with Blend If. So I'll hold Command or Control and click on all of the layers related to the image that I'm trying to turn into a vector. I'll now press Command or Control J to duplicate those selected layers, and then Command or Control E to merge them onto one. I'll now click and drag through the underlying eyeball icons to turn all those other layers off. Now to remove the white from this photo, I'll use Blend If by double clicking on the empty area of this layer and then going to the blending options, and then with the current layer slider, I'm going to click and drag on the highlights point and drag this inwards, and it's going to tell Photoshop that anything that is in the highlights we do not want visible on this layer. If you're totally new to Blend If, it can be kind of confusing, so I'll leave a resource below this video that you can check out after this lesson. But with this good to go, I'll click OK, and now we need to select all of these black pixels. But if you try to select the visible pixels currently, it doesn't take into consideration our Blend If adjustments. So to solve that, we can right-click on this layer and go to Convert to Smart Object. Now with this layer converted to a smart object, we can hold Command or Control and click on the layer thumbnail. This is going to select all of the visible pixels on that layer, which in this case is all of these black areas. Now to turn this into a path and therefore a vector, we're going to activate any of our selection tools. I'll press M on my keyboard to activate the marquee tool, and then I can right click within that selection and go to Make Work Path. We can leave the tolerance at 2 and click OK, and now that selection turns into a path. Now at this point, you could go ahead and export your image as an SVG file if you wanted to use this in another program, but in this case, I'm going to turn this into a custom shape and apply it into another project. Activating my shape tool, by pressing U, I can now right-click within this active path and go to Define Custom Shape. I'll call this to Soldier and click OK. Now to show you an example of this vectorized image in action, I'm going to put it as a stencil on this wall, and since I saved it as a custom shape, I'll just go to my Shape Tools and activate the Custom Shape tool. With that tool active, I'll choose my shape preset, which will be the soldier down here at the bottom, and I'll set the color of this shape to black. Now when I click and drag out, I can hold the Shift key to make it perfectly uniform. I'm now going to create that same vectorized image that I just created previously, so I can scale this infinitely without losing quality. So let's make this like a spray paint stencil on the wall here, something like that, and press the check mark. Now to blend this in a little bit more, I'll quickly throw a blend if adjustment on here by double clicking on the soldier layer, and with the underlying layer highlights, I'll just click and drag this in like so, and then hold Alt or Option to separate that point and blend this in a little bit more to the wall. Now I know this whole blending process I went a little bit fast on, but if you want to learn more about how to use blend if and other adjustments to blend shapes or images into other textures in your photo, make sure to check out this video next, where I break all of that down in a lot more of a digestible and easy to follow format, where in this video I kind of just sped along. And with that, I'll see you back here next time.